Hey guys, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. It's Beer 30. Let's go take a walk, see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by today. I'm not sure whether I reviewed this beer or not. This is Black Xantus from Humboldt Brewing, and they're out of Mount Pleasant. It says here Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Humboldt Brewing, total beverage solution brewed at Firestone Walker Brewing Company. So I wasn't aware that Firestone Walker had a brewery in South Carolina, so not real sure here. Firestone Walker's in California. So whether this is brewed at Firestone Walker for Humboldt, Humboldt, to my knowledge, and Firestone Walker are in California. I don't know why it's saying it's done in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. So let's look at the bottle here. It's got the government thing on here. It says 11% Imperial Stout here. It says brewed and bottled Humboldt Brewing, Paso Robles, California. So I don't know where the South Carolina's coming from, guys. Doesn't have it on the label, so I think that's a bunch of horse hockey. We're going to go by what's on the label here and not what Ray Beer has got. Got a nice hummingbird, it looks like, on the label with a crescent moon. Very, very colorful, very nice label. And as far as dating, I don't see anything on the label. There may be something on the bottle. It is sweating profusely. So let's get on with this one. We'll look at the bottle a little closer when we come back for the final chug. Says here 11%, IBUs are 50. Commercial description: Black Xantus is a rare bird and their first new release from Nectar Ales in years. It is the first ever big beer to be released under the Nectar Ales line. Barrel aged for 6 months in combination of bourbon, retired Firestone Union, and wine barrels, and infused with fair trade organic coffee from a local roaster, Jobella. Rich bourbon and coffee aromas greet the senses. Complex chocolate and tobacco flavors fill the palate. This beer displays a full-bodied mouthfeel and an overall balanced presentation. It would be a perfect pairing to rich chocolate desserts, as most stouts and imperial stouts are, guys. It says style Imperial Java Stout, IBUs 50, color black, ABV 11. So food pairings for this style of beer, says here cheese with buttery brie gouda Havarti Swiss. General, it says chocolate, digestive, meat, beef, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glass-fired pint macadonic tumbler snifter, oversized wine glass. I'm going to use a double glass for this one today, guys. It says here can be sold for long periods of time. 11% Imperial Stout. This beer keep 10 or 15 years anyway, maybe even a little longer. So, and it's got the wine cap, heat shrunk or cap on here, which is better than the foil. This comes off in one piece, and you ain't got to pick a bunch of little pieces off. I don't see where it's necessary, but a lot of the brewers like to do this on their bigger beers. So, don't have really a problem with that because this comes off fairly easy. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, and wasn't aware that it was when it was aged in barrels. Doesn't have it written on the label here, so let's get the foil off of this and the cap off of it. And see, it comes off pretty easy. It's got a little tab here like your wine does. You can just peel that around, and the very top part comes right off. Very nice, very nice. And the wines that I've actually done myself and brewed myself, I use the same thing over top of the cork. Nice cap, got that same bird on it. We'll probably save that, put it on the fridge downstairs. Let's get it into the glass and see what we got. 11%, let's go down the center. This is a 22 ouncer. It's a bomber. It's a big one, enough to share, which I intend to do. On that pour, about a finger of head. Good looking beer in the glass. Over to the light, I am getting none. It is pitch black, guys. Well, now I take that back. I am getting a little bit of red rubiness around the outside. So this one is not pitch black. I'm actually surprised. For 11% Imperial Stout, those are usually pitch black with no light. I am getting a little light. Reminds me of an Imperial Porter or a Porter, because I am getting that red ruby tinges from the bowl to the glass. So a little surprised it's not a little darker than that. Now let's get a nose on it. I am not getting the bourbon barrels or the wine barrels or whatever they blended this with, or the barrels they blended it out of. Not getting a lot of alcohol notes on it either. Getting some roasted malt. Maybe a hint of some grapes in there. Not your typical Imperial Stout, to me anyway. There is some cocoa in there. Very interesting. Very, not what I was expecting, guys. I was expecting the typical rich roasted, almost to the burnt characteristics of the malt, and the cocoa and the chocolate and some dark fruit. I am not getting all of that. Well, let's see what the taste brings to the table. Let's do it. Let's get it on. Cheers. Very sweet. Very sweet on the back end. Almost a little too sweet. But it works well with this one. I am getting the cocoa on the taste. Still not getting a lot of the bourbon or the barrels that they used on this one. Let's go back over and take a quick look at this again. Combination of bourbon, retired Firestone Union, and wine barrels. I am getting some of the grape from the wine barrels. I am getting the cocoa and the rich roasted malt, and then some toffee and caramel. Not a lot of bourbon. Tell these are used barrels. They've had beer in them before. So those flavors are going to be a little subdued since they are used and had beer in them before. To me, it tastes very light for its 11%er. Definitely a well-made beer. The alcohol is super well hidden. Very easy drinking for an 11%er. This one would get you in serious trouble. I'm liking it. It is. It's a little lighter in the mouthfeel. As usual, the 11% stouts are pretty thick, pretty heavy, pretty creamy. This one seems to be a little on the lighter side. I am getting a little of that grape fruitiness in there. So the wine barrels is releasing a little bit more of the grape flavor, or the wine-esque flavors, more than the bourbon barrel. So I don't know what the blend ratio is here, but not a lot of bourbon on this. If I was drinking this blindfolded and without reading anything, I would not say this is bourbon barrel aged. But I am getting hints of the sweet grapes in this. Well, let's run out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let's let it warm up a hair or two while I sip on it for about 30 minutes or so. And see where it ends up. Seems right tasty. Very different from what I was expecting, though. I was expecting a little heavier, thicker mouthfeel and a little more of the burnt roasted malt. This seems to be a little on the lighter side of that. So I'll be right back and we'll do the final chug on this one. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on this about 45 minutes. Very tasty. Not getting a lot of the bourbon notes even after it's warmed up to room temperature, but I am getting some of the wine barrel effects with the little bit of grapes in there, nice sweetness on the back end. Not too bitter at all, very easy drinking, a very light Imperial Porter, if you will. Probably one of the lightest Imperial Porters as far as taste and alcohol. And the rich roasted malt, which is normally typical of this, it seems to be a little on the lighter side. I'm not getting a lot of the black currants or anything like that. Very light tasting 11% beer. So very nice, very easy drinking for an 11%er. A little on the lighter side if you wanted to try an Imperial Stout. It's almost like an Imperial Porter. To me, it's not got that heavy, thick, chewy mouthfeel, and being blended from bourbon barrels and wine barrels, not getting a lot of the bourbon, more grapes from the wine barrels than bourbon from the bourbon barrels. So let's do the final chug. Very nice, very, very nice. I am very surprised from the color with the red ribbiness instead of it being pitch black like it normally is for an Imperial Stout. And a lot of sweetness on this from the grapes from the wine barrels, along with the cocoa and hints of some dark fruit in there. Very nice, very, very nice. I enjoyed this one thoroughly, guys. It's a very nice 11% Imperial Stout on this. But like I said, seems to be more like an Imperial Porter than Imperial Stout. And the brewers can call it whatever they want. But to me, it's more like an Imperial Porter than it is an Imperial Stout. So with that being said, guys, I think it's very, very tasty. There is no legible dating on it here. It's got 11/8/14 in digital on black on here, which is almost impossible to see with the beer in there. So this is a 2014 edition. 11% is going, like I said, it's going to keep for a long, long time. So this has been in the bottle for about 9 months now. So it's pretty tasty. Very, very tasty. I would like to see them do it on the label somewhere, at least a year, instead of trying to find this data. Could not see it with the beer in the bottle. So I don't know, don't make any sense to me. But it is what it is, and you can see it once the beer is out of it, so you're just taking your chances buying it while the beer is still in there, because you can't see this black writing they got on there with the beer in there. So, but it was tasty. It was tasty. So for me, guys, it's a 9 out of 10, because I enjoyed the sweetness and the influences of the grapes from the grape barrels that they did on this one. Not a lot of bourbon from this, so I was thinking that the used barrels that they've used to blend this with have been used considerably. So not a lot of bourbon, a little more wine-esque grapes on this one. So like I said, I think it's more like an Imperial Porter than an Imperial Stout. 9 out of 10 for me. It does have a date on it. Once you get the beer out of it, you can see the date on there. It's digitized. So would like to see just a 2014 edition on the label would be a lot better. 9 out of 10 for me on this one. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 93 in the outstanding range, and over to Rate Beer, they say 99 overall, 91 in the style. So 90s all around on this one, guys. Pretty damn tasty. I enjoyed this one. A little bit different than your typical Imperial Stout to me. I mean, it just was just a little on the lighter side for an 11%er. So very nice. The other half liked it too. So if you've had this one from Humboldt, their Black Xantus, let me know what you think, guys. And come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. See you then.